You have the notes? Are you going to get them while you start it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, we're live.
Alright, yeah, we just got done watching Sailor Moon R, episode 5, aka Sailor Moon Season 2, episode 5. This episode was called Usagi Powers Up, A New Move, something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
So this episode takes place, they're on a pseudo field trip, just all the girls. We got Naru, we got the whole Sailor Squad, and we got their teacher. And the teacher who had, been a part of some of the mishaps in early Season 1. So we're kind of back to basics, right? We're back to the sort of, playing with the fact that they're in school season, going through the seasons, with the audience, as I would presume, as these were airing, week to week. So they're going to flower gazing, which is not something that I am culturally familiar with. I know what a flower gazing would be, and it's that actually, that sounds like a great fun activity to do, doesn't it?
It does. Now, right here, I'm just trying to bring up the wiki for this episode. So I've never used a computer before on this program, and I just decided this episode, I thought I'd use the computer, try it out, did my notes on here. You can type on these, and I'm trying to get the wiki open now.
So I would describe this episode as a cozy schoolgirl episode, in that it centers around, the main girls, in a school directed, oh my god, school directed.
What? That was episode 49.
This episode?
Yeah, 50.
This would be 51. I think we're
51.
at now. Yeah, which is insane. So they arrive at the flower gazing, and you want to get a good spot at a flower gazing. I've learned, which is what does that even mean? I mean, we have smartphones. We can read about this episode on our pseudo mobile computers.
Yeah,
that's my drink, man. You're becoming a bit of a wise guy here. In this show, eh?
What?
He knows that the audience sees him. Sees them taking my drink.
I don't see anybody taking anybody's drink. Look, I'm moving my arm. Whatever, man.
I just don't think you're in this for the right reasons.
I've just been, man, mine's been on other things recently. I've been drinking a lot of kombucha, and I've been trying to brew my own, actually.
I don't care about that. I don't want to hear about kombucha. We're talking about... We should get back on track.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yumino's back. I was like,
yes.
I was excited. I was excited about Yumino because, like us here on the Sailor Moon show, we have big googly glasses. So I can always relate with a nice googly glasses, neurotic little guy like Yumino, and he's back, and he was one of my favorite characters. Great comedic timing with Yumino every time with him and Naru.
Yeah,
and the way she zips him up,
I thought it was fun to, not give Usagi sort of a, Yumino, initially in the series, Yumino was, affectionate towards Usagi.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he was so into Usagi. She would give him the time of day.
But he channeled it into Naru.
Yeah.
And she seems much more flattered by his, borderline stalker behavior.
Yeah,
but that's it's an anime trope.
Cute and neurotic little guy. And I think if I remember correctly, Usagi got jealous right at the beginning of the show. She got jealous. She originally would not give him the time of day, and then as soon as he put his attention towards someone else, Usagi started to get jealous. And
that being said, Naru went through that thing with remember that?
That was intense.
Yeah.
Woo! I almost forgot about that. So this episode's beginning very kawaii, as I put it here, in terms of with some internet, and because it was very pop art, it was very colorful.
I wrote odd art.
Odd art, exactly. Yeah, colorful, very colorful, and it had this like the background was the same for a solid a couple minutes. It was just like the background did not change, and it was just characters going into the frame.
Yeah, like on top of that, which that was an interesting, and it was played to kind of do a sort of long form comedic moment with all of the characters in this episode, including Luna and Artemis.
And this is a beautiful score once again.
Yeah, we had some new pieces in this one for sure.
That's that's why.
It's a big thing. So everything's chill in this episode. Everything's fine. They get attacked by our new bad guys.
Yeah.
And it was sort of this geisha-esque kind of monster with sort of a bluish skin tone. And they sucked them into these portals, and it wasn't really explained where exactly these portals were taking them, but I think it was to absorb their energy to feed to the Doom Tree. And but she somehow brought it into this kind of negative space. Usagi, specifically, I believe, with Luna, and she's sort of in this what would you call it, primordial soup of sorts.
Oh yeah.
And she is cuddled up and is spoken to, floating in this thing, spoken to by the Queen Serenity herself, and kind of sort of amped up, saying, "Okay. Your love is your weapon. Your love has kept the silver crystal from actually breaking and sending you into, sort of spiritual nega verse kind of."
And Usagi cares about people so much. And
yeah,
that shows throughout especially. I mean, we knew that. Of course, we knew that she's Sailor Moon and Usagi's Tsukino. But in Sailor Moon R right now, we're really seeing a side of Sailor Moon that.
She's getting a lot more pats on the back.
She has a lot more pats on the back, and she's just her empathy maybe is that at all time you can really feel the truth. Like that maybe I always think about Sailor Moon as like the characters in the show. I think about the show as a universe, but sometimes I forget that this is a show that has people behind it. People writing the story, other humans, doing the voices and such. And I forget that it's not its own universe. Or that I'm not living with the sailors, through all this. So
this isn't Jersey Shore.
Exactly, this is no Jersey Shore kind of reality.
Sometimes it feels like,
and that's exactly why I realized that maybe the writers in Sailor Moon are starting to really feel something, and that they're just translating that through their writing.
I think that we're entering a much more spiritual territory.
Yeah, certain.
And a lot more rules are going to be broken going forward, I think. So she's given a new power in this episode. Usagi has leveled up, and with the new power comes new transformation sequences, new pieces of music. There's the one that she's given. Her power is called Moon Crystal Power.
Makes sense.
It's like moon healing halation comes with that.
And I gotta say,
so she's upgraded.
We're getting into this half of the episode. We're getting into the later half of the episode here. I want to say that the sequence, the transition sequence, when there's some mini versions of the sailors, that has been making me uncomfortable. And I think it must have been to sell some sort of toys that looked like that or something at the time, because those don't look good.
I agree.
It just don't look good.
It doesn't frustrate me the same way it might frustrate you, my friend.
Yeah. It just does not look good.
Yeah.
But that's, besides the point of every episode of this season, at least, that I've been watching, I've just found beautiful, wonderful. And
she has a new wand now, too.
She has a new wand. So, those sequences aren't the worst thing in the world. It's just a little speculation. But this new wand for the Moon Crystal Power makeup did like this thing 3 times, and it did this Zelda noise 3 times. Boop, 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 boop.
Kind of a droney thing.
Yeah, and it reminded me of Zelda. So
yes, it reminded me of Steve Reich's music for 16 musicians.
Okay, what's that?
That doesn't matter.
Okay. Music?
It's nothing. Yeah, it's music. Music for 16 musicians. It's nothing you'd know about. It's sort of neoclassical, sort of minimalist piece.
Okay. The music, kind of like the music in this episode, like Sailor Moon music.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Like Sailor Moon, like the soundtrack, Sailor Moon kind of sound.
No.
That might get into
really.
It if it's kind of like that. I'd like to check
it out. No, not really.
Alright, well, I don't know.
I mean, what can I say?
I don't know. I usually just like listening to soundtrack. And
so she gets a little bit of help at
from
the end
Halo.
of it. So the name of the wand, the new wand, is called Cutie Moon Rod.
Oh yeah. So I think should I check out if the Cutie Moon Rod was a
bad translation?
Bad translation.
I'm wondering if that's a bad translation. I'm sure that's.
I could look it up.
Yeah, these things are crazy.
I'm just excited. Like I never thought about using this. I've had this, and this is how we
While he looks
these.
that up, I got a tip here. It's or a little bit, the way that we've returned into this second season, we are brought back to the same pacing of the first season. However,
it's not a tempo, or it's not a typo, or whatever. Not a typo,
it is the Cutie Moon Rod, hey?
Yes, the Cutie Moon Rod, and I actually found some links on eBay for some physical ones that I could possibly buy.
Cool. So basically, there's this sort of shonen formula show. This show, Sailor Moon, qualifies into the shonen formula where it's essentially kind of cyclical in nature. It goes in cycles and then returns back to some form of status quo with a slightly upgraded cast and characters.
I just got a spoiler.
Yeah.
Looking at rods.
Yeah.
I found a rod that we're going to find in later seasons. A new name.
I don't want to know.
You want to know the rod?
No, I don't.
I'll forget. I'll try to forget.
I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, Queen Serenity appears. Silver Crystal. Power Makeup.
I don't want a spoiler. I actually don't want to know a spoiler.
I won't kid you. I forgot.
I don't want to know any
I already forgot. Unfortunately.
Avant-garde.
There was much energy gathered.
There was some avant-garde stuff in this episode with the sort of primordial space where Usagi was spiritually spoken to that I found very moving and very visually engaging. I would also like to, Moonlight Knight came back and he said to Usagi, "The beauty of a cherry blossom does not compare to that of a girl with courage," which is honestly a great message.
Beautiful.
Because those type of virtues are much more important, in a romantic or even in the friendship context than the exterior.
Oh,
and I will say the exterior obviously has influence, and the show definitely plays with that theme.
Oh,
in this episode, especially. But there's also a lot of blushing in this episode. You notice that there's
lots of blushing. I mean, I think that added to the pop art aspect of this episode. It's a very cute episode.
Well, that really brings out the sort of anime specific thing where people blush very, very.
Oh yeah,
red, very strong, palpable.
Very, very cute episode.
Mm-hmm. And that's about it. This was pretty good. The last couple episodes had been disappointments, and I think that this was quite a good episode. The art was fantastic. The writing was pretty good. It subverted expectations here and there, and it was just good to see, something a little bit more well thought out and less tropish than some of the last couple episodes. Thanks for watching. I love you. Thanks for watching.